All right, hello everybody. This is Dr. Sean Kelly, and I'm here to present to you today the recipe for a comet. This is Earth 101, Introductory Astronomy. So I just want to share with you, this is one of my favorite demos, and a few years ago for Christmas, I got myself a present, this jacket, because I am also known as, my nickname, Dr. Comet. Okay, so I went on a little expedition today and I got some special stuff. I have my safety goggles on because safety is number one, nobody gets hurt. And what I'm going to be doing is demonstrating the building of a comet. And I'm going to show you some of the ingredients that we know are inside of the comet. I also wish that you were here so you could smell it and not taste it, but you could hear it. It will be making sounds actually at one point. But I'll go ahead and I'll take pictures and videos to give you a chance to get a sense of that. But anyways, I want to start off today. I had to get a special ingredient to make this work today, and it's incredibly cold. It's colder than regular ice. Does anybody know what it would be? And some of you are saying, you know what it is? Yes, the right answer is dry ice. Okay, so my first recipe ingredient is dry ice, okay? So now, I don't know if you know why it's dry, but in fact, it doesn't melt. It turns straight from a solid into a gas. It goes straight from a solid into a gas, and this is called sublimation. And you need to know that word, the word sublimation, changing straight from a solid into a gas, but it doesn't melt. So it leaves behind no residue at all. And what is it exactly? It is carbon dioxide, CO2 ice, right? That's what it is. CO2 ice. And we're going to need that because it's really cold and comets are really cold. In fact, the nickname for a comet is a dirty snowball. So I want to just show you how cold this is. I've got my cold dry ice right here. Thank you, Smart and Final. You were great. Smart and Final was the provider for the dry ice today. And I just want to show you guys that something interesting if I blow on this. Right, there's a joke. Do you even vape, dude? No, don't vape. It's not good for you. But what's going on? I don't smoke. So what is this? Actually, the nickname is dragon's breath, right? And actually, there's a story I would usually tell, but I'm not going to tell you that story unless you're interested, but nobody's here to tell me. So what it is actually moisture in my breath. So the fog that you see, it's little particles of water that are condensing out of the gas phase because it's so cold. Now, if you were kids, I would show you this really fun little demo, but you're not kids, so I'm not going to do this. I'm totally going to do this. So I'm going to put a little water, and you guys have seen this before probably. And what happens when you dump a little bit of dry? Oh, yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool? And again, if you were kids, I would probably show you that what happens when you add a couple of drops of soap is, oh my gosh, you make a total mess. What a mess. But they're kind of fun. This foam that we're making is actually very fun to play with. It's very cool. And actually, when it pops, the dry ice has caused the fog, the water to turn into a fog. That's what you're seeing. It's the fog from the water. Okay, thanks, Sean. You just made a mess. Okay, that's a big mess. We're going to put this over here. All right. Coming back to the purpose of today's purpose is to make a comet. So number one, we need some dry ice. And in order to make the dry ice function properly, we have to crush it into small pieces. Now, I've done that job for us, but I'm just going to show you that it is actually some small pieces. I have a baggie right here, and I always ask the audience, do you want a big comet or a little comet? And the answer is, that's right, a big comet, the biggest I can make. And in fact, because I'm not saving it for anybody else, I'm going to use the whole thing. The whole thing? Yes, the whole thing. There's nothing better than a big comet, okay? So actually, as I pick this up, it's super cold. You know what? Why didn't I just use the original bag? I'm going to use the original bag. It's stronger than the bag that I have. And what I'm going to do is just crush this a little bit. So right over here, I have a hammer. And if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. Crush that. By the way, that person who cut me off on the 101, that's for you. No, I'm just kidding. Just get out your aggressions. Usually I would ask somebody to help me, but anyways, This is a little different. We're going to go ahead and take that and we're going to dump it in. This is our main, oh, it's super cold. Okay, super cold. We're dumping in the dry ice. First ingredient, dry ice, lots of dry ice. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a humongous comet. This might be the biggest comet I have ever made. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, but we need a couple more ingredients. Now, the first ingredient I'm going to add, other than the dry ice, is something that I picked up, and it's very right here. It comes in a little dispenser bottle. And actually, I wonder if I can show you up close. Can anybody see that? There's the camera. Okay, you can't see it. I'm going to sprinkle this in. I'm going to give you a little clue. I picked this up off of Ledbetter Beach. Okay, so I'm sprinkling in a little bit of this. And what is it? Oh, yes, it is sand. But in this class, we're not going to call it sand. We're going to call it by its chemical formula. Okay, so let's go ahead and stir that in. Put in a little more. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the name of that. The sand is, in fact, called silicate, right? So silicate. And you want to write down the chemical formula, SiO2. SiO2. I don't think I like the green pen very much. Last time using the green pen. Okay, and silicate. Now, usually I would get somebody in the front row to take a look at this ingredient. Wow, this is a really old bottle, but I'm going to go ahead and do this for you because I love you. Here you go. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, I smelled it again. This is ammonia. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this because this is found in comets. Not in the form of a liquid, by the way, but in the form of an ice. Okay, so we got a little bit of ammonia in there, and we need a chemical formula. What is the chemical formula for ammonia? So we're going to go ahead and put down ammonia ice. And the chemical formula is NH3, nitrogen, and 3 hydrogens, right? So we got CO2, SiO2, and H3, just for fun. Can you guys see that okay? All right. Next up, let's see, what's next? Okay, what's next? This stuff. Now, actually, again, I could just show you, right? Isopropyl alcohol. It turns out a whole bunch of different kinds of alcohol, again, in the form of ices, are found in comets. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit, not too much. Although I will tell you that the kind that you drink is called ethyl, and this is called isopropyl. You shouldn't drink this stuff, bad stuff. No. Okay, and let's see. I have, there we go, something very cool. This says, if you could read it, organic soy sauce. This is, oh, I forgot to write down alcohol. Let's write down that alcohol. What is the chemical formula for alcohol? So alcohol ice. And actually, let's write down 2 kinds of alcohols. Let's put down ethyl alcohol, and methyl alcohol. Okay, and the chemical formula for ethyl is CH3OH, and methyl is C2H5OH, methyl alcohol, okay? Now, the next ingredient I showed you is soy sauce, but it's actually not soy sauce. What I'm trying to get at is it's got this interesting stuff, right? Actually, comets, it turns out, are probably kind of stinky. They have smells. And these come from organic compounds. So let's go ahead and add just a little bit. This is mainly for color. But if you like salty comets, this is for you, okay? Oh, I'm going to go ahead and use that up. There you go. Good. And by the way, I should just stir this up just a bit. You guys can see. Oh, this is the biggest comet I've ever made. Oh my goodness, it's so big. Oh wow, okay. It's gonna be too big. All right, well that's okay. Ooh, there's a nice big chunk, don't touch it. Okay, but anyways, actually a neat thing to know about dry ice is it doesn't melt. So you can see that big chunk? That chunk is just gonna disappear. It's gonna sublimate away, okay? All right, so I've got my organic compounds. Let's write down what's an organic compound? So an organic compound is a compound that contains carbon. And it turns out contains carbon. It turns out we see some really interesting compounds on comets. We see very complex molecules in terms of, in fact, some of them look very much like amino acids, which are found in our DNA. Yes, the same chemical compounds that are found in our DNA are found on comets. All right, let's see, next up. Oh, this is really important, right? This black stuff. If I asked you what this might be, you would say, I crushed it, Sean. What would it be? And somebody says, charcoal. That's right. So comets are really dark. They have a very low albedo. They don't reflect light very much. And so I'm going to go ahead and put in lots of this dark carbon, okay? So that's actually straight carbon. So if you have organic compounds, it makes sense that you would have some carbon as well. All right, we're almost done. But in fact, we're missing something really, really important, right? So I can't really tell you all of the types of ices that are found in comets. But in fact, there are many different kinds of ices. But there's one that I definitely forgot to write down. And it's the one that you and I most know very well on Earth. And it's going to be actually the thing that's going to hold my whole comet together. So what is the ingredient that I need that is going to hold the whole comet together? And it's the reason why I got the dry ice, which is so cold. And the answer is water ice. Okay, what's the chemical compound for water? H2O, water ice, okay? All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take the water and pour it in. I want you to watch what happens. This is kind of exciting. Oh, it's really, can you hear it? It's making a lot of noise. Okay, I'll stir this up. And now, this is the fun part. Now we get to wait, right? We're going to wait for a few minutes, right? Actually, we're going to wait for about 100,000 years, maybe 10,000, for gravity to pull it all together, okay? But actually, who's got time for that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the role of gravity, and I'm going to squish this comet together. And and that force of gravity is going to hold it together. So comets take a while to form, and then they're going to sit out there. They're mostly made of ices, okay, with some silicates and things like that. Got some gloves on. Okay, so here I am playing the role of gravity, right? And I've never done one this big. This is going to be, oh, wow, I can already feel this is huge. Oh my goodness. This is, you guys want to see me working here. So you never usually get this close a view. Oh, and the thing that I don't want to do, I don't want to hold it too tightly because something bad would happen. It would actually explode from the pressure. Okay, so I just realized this is such a big comet. I need more water. I've never made one this big. This is literally the biggest comet I have ever made. Oh, how fun. Whoa, oh my gosh. I don't know, is this gonna work? This might be too big. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so right around now, I would usually tell you a story because actually one of the things that this reminds me of, you know, here I am creating this comet for you, just for you, by the way. This comet, didn't exist before a few minutes ago. Oh, wow. Okay, a little more pressure. We need gravity. Come on, gravity. Do your job, gravity. But it reminds me of the day that my son was born, and I was in the operating room, and we didn't know if we were going to get a boy or a girl, you know, so we were waiting, and then out comes my son, and it was a boy. I was pretty sure it was a boy. It was very clear, actually. And the doctor said, would you like to, you know, cut the umbilical cord? And I said, of course. And I held my son for the first time. It was amazing. And I told my son, I tell him all the time, I said, you know, that moment, I was the happiest human being alive. There was no one happier than I was. So there you go. Anyways, are you ready? The moment of truth. We're about to see a brand new baby comet being born, the biggest one that Sean Kelly has ever made. Oh my God, it's huge. It's huge. Okay, here it is. Look. It's our baby comet. Uh-oh. I got lost. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, there we go. Look at that beautiful comet. Oh, it's beautiful and ugly. It's beautiful. It's the biggest comet I've ever made. And so that, ladies and gentlemen, is your demonstration of a comet being born. And what I'm going to do is something that I've never done before. I'm going to weigh it for you and take pictures. And then what we're going to do is in a couple of hours, when the dry ice has sublimated away, I'm going to weigh it again. And we're going to see that what got left behind is the water and all of the other ingredients in the comet. And the dry ice is gone. So it'll be mostly porous at that point. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me. And we'll see you later. Bye. Can you hear